Welcome to New York Weekly Record. I'm your host, Michele Evans. New York, you have been busy. This week, one Manhattan judge somehow found himself at the center of yet another headline-grabbing criminal case. A public defense organization created to protect low-income New Yorkers collapsed after its own leaders stole from it. A defendant in one of the most watched murder cases in America apparently wants a say in which reporters cover his trial. And in Westchester County, a small house is quietly answering one of the biggest questions facing women leaving prison. Where do I go now? I'm Michele Evans, and this is the New York Weekly Record, the show where we look past the headline, follow the paper trail, and ask the questions New Yorkers deserve to have answered. Tonight, we're talking courts, corruption, press freedom, second chances, and the systems that shape everyday life across New York. So grab your coffee, your tea, or whatever gets you through another week in this city. Why does Judge Gregory Caro keep getting New York's biggest cases? One case is coincidence. Two cases are interesting. By the fifth or sixth, a reporter starts asking questions. This week, another nationally watched criminal case landed before Manhattan Supreme Court Justice Gregory Caro. Andrew Truelove is accused of storming NBC's Today Show studios looking for Al Roker, confronting co-anchor Craig Melvin, and using a racial slur before security intervened. The allegations were bizarre enough to make national news almost immediately. Then the case arrived in Judge Caro's courtroom. Caro ordered Truelove held without bail after prosecutors argued the arrest violated his probation. He now faces burglary and hate crime charges and could receive up to 15 years if convicted of the top count. But for me, the larger story was the name on the bench, Gregory Caro. He is already presiding over the Luigi Mangione murder prosecution. He has handled the Soho cryptocurrency torture case. He has overseen other major homicide proceedings. And now, the Today Show case joins the list. To be clear, judges do not simply pick whichever sensational case they would like to hear. Court administrators make assignments, and Caro is an experienced criminal term judge trusted with complicated felony prosecutions. That may fully explain the pattern, but the public should understand how those decisions are made. Is it experience, availability, specialized scheduling, administrative convenience? Those are not accusations. They are accountability questions. Because public confidence depends on more than fair rulings. It also depends on transparency about how the machinery of justice works. Sometimes the biggest story is not only the defendant, sometimes it is the courtroom where history keeps unfolding. Justice stolen at Queen's Defenders. The people who needed justice the most were supposed to be protected. Instead, federal prosecutors say the organization built to defend low-income New Yorkers became a source of luxury spending for the people running it. Former Queen's Defenders founder and executive director Lori Zeno was sentenced to 43 months in federal prison after admitting she helped divert hundreds of thousands of dollars from the nonprofit. Prosecutors said money intended for public defense and community programs paid for luxury travel, expensive meals, clothing, entertainment, and home renovations. But this was not simply an accounting scandal. Queen's Defenders lost its city contract and shut down. Approximately 16,000 clients had their legal representation disrupted. The organization's food pantry and community programs disappeared too. Think about that number, 16,000 New Yorkers. People facing criminal charges, families already navigating poverty, housing instability, and the overwhelming machinery of the court system. Public defenders are not optional helpers. They are part of the constitutional foundation of the justice system. They stand beside people who cannot afford private attorneys and make sure the government is required to prove its case. When leaders steal from an organization entrusted with that mission, The damage is larger than the missing money. It damages trust. It destabilizes cases. It punishes clients who had nothing to do with the crime. Most legal aid organizations serve their communities honorably, often with impossible caseloads and limited resources. But public money demands public accountability. The victims here were not just taxpayers or city agencies. They were the people who walked through the doors of Queen's Defenders looking for justice, stability, and hope. Instead, they were left paying the price for a betrayal committed by the very people entrusted to protect them. Mangione wants a say in who covers his trial. Defendants do not assign reporters. That may sound obvious. Apparently, it needs to be said. Luigi Mangione, the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, is now at the center of a new fight involving press access and who gets to cover one of the most closely watched murder prosecutions in the country. His defense has raised concerns about members of the press and the way coverage could affect his right to a fair trial. That concern is not frivolous. Every defendant is entitled to an impartial jury, and sensational coverage can create real problems before a trial ever begins. But there is an enormous difference between asking a court to protect the fairness of a proceeding and allowing a defendant to decide which journalists may sit in the courtroom. The courtroom belongs to the public. Reporters attend on behalf of people who cannot take a day off, clear courthouse security, and sit through hours of legal arguments themselves. We watch what prosecutors do. We watch what defense lawyers do. We watch what judges do. And sometimes, yes, we report facts that one side would rather not see published. That is not evidence of unfairness. That is the job. New York's press corps is pushing back because the principle reaches far beyond Mangione. A wealthy defendant should not be able to curate the press gallery. A famous defendant should not receive editorial control over coverage. And an unpopular reporter should not lose access simply because their reporting makes someone uncomfortable. Courts can protect jurors. They can enforce decorum. They can address genuine misconduct. But they should not turn public access into a guest list approved by the accused. I will continue covering this case wherever the facts lead. Whether the defendant likes the coverage is not the test. Whether the reporting is accurate is. A safe place to begin again. The Lilac House. For many women leaving prison, freedom does not begin with a homecoming. It begins with a question. Where am I going to sleep tonight? The gate opens, but the problems do not disappear. How do you find work with a felony conviction? How do you reunite with your children? How do you navigate parole, healthcare, transportation, technology, and the emotional weight of rebuilding a life? The Lilac House in Westchester County was created to help women answer those questions. It provides more than a bed. Residents receive case management, employment help, housing assistance, clothing, mental health support, parenting education, budgeting classes, technology workshops, and help rebuilding family relationships. Those services may sound ordinary. They are anything but. A woman leaving prison may need help creating an email account before she can apply for a job. She may need a landlord willing to look beyond her conviction. She may need trauma counseling, or she may simply need someone to believe she is worth investing in. I understand that first step because I lived it. When I was released from Rikers Island during the pandemic, I stayed at Our Children in Astoria. It was not simply a place to sleep. It was a place where I could begin rebuilding instead of spending every moment trying to survive. The Lilac House now offers that kind of beginning to women returning to Westchester. Its founder, Pamela Zimba, told me grants are difficult to secure, and the organization depends heavily on community donations. We spend billions talking about arrests, prosecution, and prison, but public safety does not end at the prison gate. Stable housing, treatment, employment, and family support reduce the conditions that send people back into crisis. Sometimes changing a life does not begin in a courtroom. It begins with a key, a front door, and someone saying, "Welcome home." And that is this week's New York Weekly Record. Tonight, we followed one judge through a remarkable collection of high-profile courtrooms. We saw how corruption inside a public defense organization hurt 16,000 people who are already depending on the system for help. We defended a basic principle of open courts. Defendants get lawyers, not personal press secretaries. And we ended at the Lilac House, where accountability looks different, but matters just as much. Because justice is not only about who gets arrested, convicted, or sentenced. It is also about who gets heard, who gets protected, who gets watched, and who gets a genuine chance to begin again. Thank you for watching, reading, sharing, and supporting independent New York journalism. Join me next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for another edition of the New York Weekly Record. Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and keep asking the questions somebody hopes you will not ask. I'm Michele Evans.